recommend taking an assessment for yourself. So we'll go there and take a look at the wellness lifestyle assessment. Let's hit continue. You'll have 3 questions that you just agree or disagree to using the slider, and it will go through the 8 areas of the wellness pyramid. And this will be a great tool for you with your prospects, customers, team members. And this is a great place to get started with PowerMe if you haven't taken the wellness lifestyle assessment already for yourself. And then let's take a look at what results could look like. And keep in mind, this is also the results that your customers and prospects will see after they take an assessment. And it helps you have an idea, how am I doing in movement and rest and metabolism, all these 8 different areas. We can see areas where we're struggling with, areas we're doing pretty well with, and we hope this can help you target areas that you can, recommend products that will help in these areas. Speaking of recommendations, there's initial product recommendations that you have that are built into PowerMe. However, as wellness advocates, you have the ability to customize these. You can even turn them off if you'd prefer your customers not see recommendations until you're able to meet with them in person or follow up over the phone. But I want you to be aware that these are available on PowerMe. In addition to product recommendations, we also have lifestyle habit recommendations that work very similar to the product recommendations. And let's go ahead and go back to the dashboard. And I realize through this, you probably have questions coming up. Just wanted to remind everyone there will be a question and answer session at the end. But let's take a look here at our friend Nymphadora. Let's take a look at her assessment results. So you see she's taken the assessment multiple times, and we can see results from the latest one and have the ability to see what products were recommended with that, as well as lifestyle habits. And we have the ability to also recommend additional products. After you've been able to review the results and say you want to send some additional recommendations, we can go to current products here. And then we want to send product recommendations. And here we have, you can see any product in the catalog. So let's look up tangerine. And we'll go ahead and add that, say to stress. And if we come down here, we'll need to show all categories. But here under stress management, tangerine shows up. And I'm going to add in the adaptive calming blend and on guard foaming hand wash. And here at the bottom, you'll see a summary of those products. And you can also leave a personal note recommending, how they use it or any other things you want to mention. And when you're ready, you can hit send your recommendations. And that will go to your customer. They'll receive an email. They'll be prompted to log into PowerMe so they can see those recommendations. Let me go ahead and go back to the part here of sending assessments. There's several different places you can send assessments, but let's take a look here. Wellness assessment. We have share with individual or share with group. We'll cover groups later. But sharing with an individual, you can either send an email to them right here through PowerMe, inviting them to take an assessment. My favorite is the link right here, because this link you could put in social media, you could put in an email, and anyone who clicks it will be taken to the Wellness Lifestyle Assessment, and it will also be linked to your Wellness Advocate account. So you get credit for any purchases that occur as a result of your customers and prospects taking the assessment. We have a QR code as well that can be scanned at events as well if you need. And once someone takes an assessment, they'll appear here under customers, where you have this dashboard to be able to send additional recommendations, and kind of keep track of where they're at and the last time they took an assessment, things of that nature. And I know that was a quick overview. We'll get Rich will cover some additional details later on, but I wanted to hand it back to Mary, so we can hear from Dr. Ritchie soon.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Jerem. So keep putting your questions in the chat and we'll make sure that they all get answered. But right now we want to talk with Dr. Laura Ritchie. So Dr. Laura Ritchie is a doctor of physical therapy and a national board certified women's health and functional nutrition coach and a doTERRA diamond leader from Amarillo, Texas. She's been with doTERRA for just over 10 years and was one of the early adopters of PowerMe. She's here to share how she uses PowerMe to build her business. So yeah, Dr. Laura, let's figure out how, Rich, you might have to unmute her. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Take it away.
Thank you, Mary. Jerem, I have to laugh because I remember the early days when we were on Zoom. You were creating this thing and we were talking about it. And I remember thinking, this is going to be so cool. Like,
Yeah.
This is what we've been waiting for. So it's really fun to see that it's here. And it's been a tool that I use a lot in my business because I primarily build my business on social media and Instagram. And I don't do a lot of one-on-ones or classes. I love doing and sharing on social. And so this I feel like is so helpful and can be utilized in a lot of ways. And I utilized it a lot during Diamond Club, especially for my Gen Zers. Because what I tend to do is show up on social media and educate and support. And I do a lot of attraction marketing where when people are ready to get started with oils, then they reach out to me and I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, let's hop on a quick call. And a lot of my fellow elder millennials, we like getting on the phone. It's my favorite thing to do is connect with people. But the Gen Zers are, can you send me a link? Like they're like, hard stop, I'm not getting on the phone with you. So this has been revolutionary because we think about color matching and people love to take the quiz and know what their color matching is. And I feel like this is wellness matching. This is a quick quiz that I can send you that's going to customize specific products for your health and wellness goals and needs. And when people don't want to hop on a chat, or when you have people, how many times do we get people who say, okay, I want oils, but I have no clue what to get? Like, I don't know what I need, but I love doTERRA and I want to order something. I'm like, great, here's a quick little quiz that you can take. And I save it. So I have my PowerMe link saved in the notes section of my phone. That's really quick for me to go and grab and put and share in all the places. So I send that to my people. Sometimes I'll just put up an Instagram story and say, want to take a quick oil wellness quiz and just see where areas of your life where you can support ourselves? We like that. We like taking quizzes. We like doing the BuzzFeed quizzes and all the things. So this is our doTERRA wellness quiz. And it has helped so much, especially in Diamond Club when we were able to do reactivations. And I was reaching out to people who haven't ordered in over a year and supporting them. And I would even say, if you have no idea what you need or where to start, here's a quick quiz. And then I think it's our job as wellness advocates. We take people by the hand and we guide them to the next step. So our job is to follow up with people. And it's nice because I get an email or I can log into the PowerMe every so often, the little dashboard, and I can see, oh, so-and-so is taking their quiz. And then you get to start a conversation with them. Oh my gosh, thanks for taking this quick quiz. That was so amazing. What surprised you? Did it resonate? Were there some things that you were surprised by? Do you want to talk about anything? Or can I just send you a link? And I love Molly Dayton coined this phrase. She said, give me a budget and I'll give you a bundle. And I use that all the time. Like, wow, you have all of these tools and resources. You got so much information. want to get started with oils? Can I help you with something? Can I send you a link to order? Because again, my Gen Zers, they're not going to hop on a phone call with me. So I'm following up, and then I'll take the link generator and customize things. Or if I see that their recommendations are just shy of 100 PV, I'll say, oh, you know what? I added an On Guard hand sanitizer spray. This is fully customable. You can take it out if you want, but I don't like paying for shipping. So if you're like me and you want to smell like Christmas and not have your hands dry out this winter, because people like, this is just an extra thing and you're going to get the freebie or the whatever. So I'm also kind of looking at the PV and using that to help us, and use it for your current customers when they don't know what to do on LRP and they don't know what to get, or they're not sure like what that next step is. That's really powerful to just put it out into your customer groups, put it in your emails that you're sending to people. They may have not realized, oh, I'm really struggling in sleep. Maybe I need to focus on that, or here's a new product that I can try. So I feel like this is something that we all need. Current customers, new people coming to doTERRA. It just kind of gives us a new idea of things that we can bring into our life and support us. And I loved what Jerem said about the QR code for events, that if you are working a vendor booth or an event or something like that, people love quick quizzes. It's kind of like the doTERRA iTovi scan, or Zytoscan, if you will. That's quick, and it's something that gives people tangible information that they're ready to go. And then your job is to follow up. Your job is to show them the next step of how to enroll, how to place the order. And then what I like to do is tell my people, don't worry. I know this is a lot. I know coming to doTERRA is a little bit like learning a new language. I've got you. When you place your order, let me know. I'm going to pop a fun little welcome packet in the mail for you. So that incentivizes them to actually like do the thing. And then when your order arrives, I'm going to hop on a call and I'm going to walk you through everything. Like, I don't want you to feel like, oh no, I have these Serenity Sleep gels and now I don't know how to use them. That's our job, is to say, you know what, you can take one at dinner and then you can take one an hour before bed and you're going to sleep amazing and it's going to change your life. So I just use it as a stepping stool, or as a stepping stool, as a stepping point, stepping off point to the next conversation, to helping them be open to some products, especially if they're not going to get on a phone call with me. It's just been revolutionary. It's been so, so helpful, especially for our team with Diamond Club.
Thank you so much. That was so great. Um, yeah, yeah, we love Dr. Laura around here. I'm sure you all do too. Yeah, so I'd like to introduce Rich. He is doTERRA's PowerMe product owner. He's worked at doTERRA for over 11 years on many different IT related projects and initiatives. He's passionate about PowerMe and the impact it can have for wellness advocates and their customers. We're just grateful for Rich and his willingness to share ways PowerMe can help elevate your doTERRA businesses. And yeah, specifically, he's going to talk about group mode, because we're getting a lot of questions about that, and then also settings. And then he's going to share with you some things that are coming very soon that I think you're going to be so excited about.
So thank you so much, Dr. Laura. Holy cow. I mean, I really should just like end the meeting and we can all walk away happier. So this is amazing. Thank you so much. All right, so I am very excited to be with you guys today. We had the last of these meetings we had was it was in the middle of December. We're going to have them as frequent as people want them, and the intent, like Mary said, is to help answer questions, make sure things are clear, as well as give you some visibility to what's coming. I think we heard some feedback here in December that, PowerMe is creating a lot of stuff for us. And so we don't want you to be surprised. We want you to be, excited with us. I do want to emphasize one thing before we jump into group mode, and that is your feedback matters. We have implemented over 400 changes to PowerMe based on you as wellness advocates, because you know how to do your business, right? And you know how your business can be productive and effective, and so why not give you what you want? And that's one of the foundational principles that we have here. So, okay. Mary, are there any critical questions we want to ask before we jump in, or should we just
No,
jump
go
right?
ahead. Jump right in. We'll let you know after you've gone over group mode,
Okay,
like
perfect.
what questions we still need you to answer.
All right, perfect, perfect. I'm assuming you can see my screen. It looks like it. Okay, so this is the dashboard. You're gonna be familiar with Nymphadora Tonks and Fleur. Yes, we're Harry Potter fans, it looks like, I guess, but this is our production environment. So this is live. This system you can get to use the whole 9 yards at your convenience, okay? But I am logged into production as Nymphadora Tonks. Nymphadora is a wellness advocate. And I emphasize that, you guys, because if your customers were to log in, they don't see what a wellness advocate sees because they don't have a business. They see something very simple. They see their results. They see products you've given them. They see things to that effect, right? As a wellness advocate, however, like Jerem said, you've got some tools and actions here. You've got your business, people that you've sent assessments to. Let's jump into sending an assessment that is a group assessment, okay? I'm going to stay up high really fast. What's the difference between an individual assessment and a group assessment? To the customer, to the person you send it to, nothing. They just take a simple assessment. That's all they see, okay? The difference is in a group, the results are accumulated, they're gathered, and they're averaged for you to manage the group on a whole. So Dr. Laura talked about social media. If I were to do a social media campaign on sleep in the month of January, I could share a group, create a group that says, let's name this group January, I don't know, Instagram sleep. Okay. I'm going to name it my January Instagram sleep group. And now when I send this link right here, you can see it says link copied. I send it in my email, okay, or I post it on Instagram and they click on it. Everyone who participates in the Instagram sleep assessment will be batched to one group. And I can evaluate that campaign. Okay, super simple. So let's jump into, I'm going to go here in my business to my groups. And here's a bunch of fake groups, just so you're aware, that I did because it's Nymphadora, right? It's Nymphadora. And there's, I don't know, we have a whole lot of fake groups in here. Here's a group, Divine Daggett. We're going to say this is January. This is January Instagram group. And in that group, 3 people took it. Okay, and I can view their analysis. They took the wellness assessment. That's the assessment I gave them. And here's their results. On average, across the entire group. Okay, if I wanted to see just the lowest scores, there's the categories they need the most improvement on. Movement, digestion, and metabolism. Okay, so I can evaluate the group. I can compare them against the all-time averages. I'll even go back. And I can even drill into the individuals themselves and see what their specific scores are. Okay, and let's assume, since we know digestion was one of the lowest scores across all of them, I select everybody, send them recommendations, and I'm going to focus my recommendations on digestion. PB Assist, let's say. You know, what else do we want? Maybe some PB Restore. Let's assume I don't see what I want in here, right? This is not a comprehensive all products in the catalog scroller, but this search allows you to find any product in the product catalog. I saw one of the questions was, what if I wanted to send them the sleep system? Hey, well, there you go. There's your Serenity sleep system. And in this case, I'm going to randomly put it in rest. right? Like Jerem said, and there it is. I will send them the sleep system. Okay, and before I send it, I'm like, hey, thanks, Insta friends. You are amazing. Oops, if I could spell. Let's chat more. Okay. Here's the products. I can see that I'm hitting the PV I want, maybe. All right. If you're interested, it tells you how much PV it's going to be worth. And I click send recommendation. It's that easy. Let's assume I want to give them some lifestyle enhancements, not just products, but I want to say, hey, you know what? In addition, for digestion, if you drink some extra water, maybe in movement, we talked about how maybe let's start walking a little bit. There's some lifestyle habits that you can recommend, and you can see them before you ever even hit send. You can see what's going to enhance them. And what's coming soon, by the way, is automatic personalized educational options as well. You're going to see products, lifestyle, and educational materials that are targeted to the needs of the person. So that's one of the simple things that's coming. But there's the simplicity of groups, right? So groups is the same for the customer. They just take an assessment. Okay. But for you, it is able to, in essence, create a little mini campaign, right? That batches the people you want to target for specific reason. Let's do another example, you guys. I'm here. This is a list of all my customers. And by the way, here's something else that's coming. Your entire tree will show up here pretty soon on all your customers, not just the people who you sent an assessment to. So you will now have your entire business entity in front of you, which is a huge win. Okay. But let's assume, I don't know. I want to find any people. Look, you have these filters right here. I want to find any people who are still pending. I haven't answered any recommendations. And let's assume in the wellness lifestyle assessment that they took, let's show where their lowest score is nutrition. Okay, so if their lowest score is nutrition, I actually now know that these 8 people scored low in nutrition, and I might want to send them VMG. I might want to send them X, Y, and Z products. I can target in group mode, or, they scored low in nutrition or movement. So I'm going to send this group the next assessment, which might be a group move assessment, and say, okay, you scored low in movement. Let's take a detailed move assessment now. And all of a sudden you've batched them, these people, into a move assessment, which is extremely powerful. Another campaign, another way of hitting the masses. Mary, well, keep me honest. Keep me honest. What else should I emphasize?
Well, we maybe need to wrap. We're getting close to the end of our time here.
Yep.
So yeah, we're going to stay on so that we can answer questions, but there was a great question in the chat about customers versus leads. So under Manage My Business, there's a leads tab, and maybe you can just explain to people what that leads tab is.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. So in your customer tab, you can see that you've got prospects, you've got wellness advocates. Okay. In leads, you are able now to add leads. You're able to upload people that you know that have never purchased, and you're able to upload them and start them in the sales funnel. So we intentionally went very slow in this leads area because not everyone is ready for a full-blown lead system. So if you have a CSV, if you have an Excel file, okay, for example, that it's only first name, last name, and email is all that's needed to upload a person. Okay. Oh, okay, so you can upload leads, people who have never purchased, that you can then send them assessments, or you can do it the standard way, which is just to go in here and share with an individual or a group. Just another way of managing potential customers to your business.
Okay, fantastic. And then I think you were also going to show them for anybody who wants to stay on the call. So it has been 30 minutes. So if you need to drop off, go ahead and we'll keep recording. And anybody who filled out the RSVP, that's how we get your email address to know who to send the recording to. So I did put the link to that in the chat. So if you didn't fill out the RSVP before jumping on the call, it's totally fine, but just go ahead and do it now, just so I have your email address so I can make sure to send you the recording after. We told you this would be about 30 minutes, so if you need to drop off, please do. But we'll stay on as long as there are questions. And Rich, I know something else we get a lot of questions about is the settings section, and so maybe you could show settings for us.
Yeah, absolutely, Mary. Thank you. This is a piece, you guys, that remember the flow. I send person an assessment. They take an assessment. At the end of when they see the results of their assessment, they get a couple products recommended to them. Okay. When we were really early on, people were worried. They said, oh no, well, how do you know what to give them? How do you know what to recommend to them? Why would the system do that? Okay. And so we've built a way for you to fully control what is recommended. Okay. So if you go into settings, when a person finishes their assessment, initial recommendations are given. These recommendations by type of assessment are fully editable by you. If you don't want Terrazyme, and you want, I don't know, we're going to do PB restore or something, you simply replace it. And from now on, when a person finishes with a low digestion score, they get PB restore because that's what you want them to have. So in the settings, in right here, under settings, my initial recommendations are fully controllable by you so that when they finish an assessment, they get what you want. Let's assume you don't want them to have recommendations at all, but you just want, like Dr. Laura also said, it's your business. You just want to call them or you just want to whatever. Then you can just turn off the toggle right here and they won't get those recommendations. Another request by wellness advocates. So you can turn it off or you can leave it on and just describe, right, what the system should be providing them. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Rich, we had a question about customers populating from the back office. Do you want to touch on that?
Yes. So you'll notice if you go to doTERRA.com and you log into your account underneath business, you'll find the PowerMe link there, right? That's one easy way to get to PowerMe if you want to, as part of doTERRA, because this is doTERRA. It's all doTERRA. We are currently integrating with the back office. I mentioned earlier that your downlines would be here, right? That's exactly what we're doing, right? Very soon, we're going to make it so that people who you already have that relationship with, you don't have to just send an email to, but that they will all show up in here. Does that answer the question, Jerem? Keep me honest, because I want to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does that also, Rich, will that also include wellness advocates in your downline who are inactive, or would it only be the active folks that populated?
Ooh, good question. I would love to hear what people want, right? I would love to hear what the masses want. Do you want it to include inactive? Do you want it to include, because we can just tag it and you know, you'll know what type of person they are, right? What their role is. So, you know, I think I'd open it up to the group. That's why you're here. Let's influence how the system is designed for you.
Yeah, awesome. Go ahead and put, if you have some thoughts on that, go ahead and put it in the chat and we'll get that documented. Yeah, I know another thing that we sort of talked about ahead of time, Rich, was that you were there's an exciting new thing coming to PowerMe called challenges. Do you want to tease that a
Yes.
little bit? That's going to be
Okay,
here
we'll
pretty
tease.
soon.
Yeah, we will tease that a little bit. Okay, so let's imagine you want to say to your team, hey, you know, you send out a communication to, I don't know, I'm going to make it simple, 5 people, and you say, hey, we're going to have a challenge. You know, if you purchase this kit, you can do this lifestyle piece, you know, read these things of education. And we do it for 21-day challenge. Let's do a 21-day challenge, and you will be able to track your usage of that product, track your ability to complete your habits. There will be a leaderboard potentially of who wins, and we can motivate. And I know that there's several of the PDBDs who actually do similar kind of challenges, it was their ideas, right, that brought this kind of a thing forward. So very soon we will have your ability to use and create your own team challenges.
Thanks, Rich.
Very exciting.
That is super exciting. Just to answer a question that I've seen come up a few times in the chat here, just to be clear, when you send someone a link, that's automatically attributed to you. So, and if that person signs up for an account, they'll automatically go into your downline. If they place any orders, they will be under you unless they are already a customer. Okay, so if I send an assessment to one of Dr. Laura's customers, that's great. They can take the assessment. I can see the results if they agree to share them with me. But if they make any purchases, Dr. Laura will get credit for those in her PB. So
Yep.
just want to clarify that.
This is a very important point. Thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
It maintains the attribution that is appropriate, right? The original relationship is what defines that attribution, who brought the person on and such. So thank you for that clarity.
And Rich had a couple questions about international and language availability with PowerMe.
Okay, that's great. And ironically,
Maybe specifically speak about Canada.
I was going to say that. Yeah, I was going to say let's also consider Canada. Okay, so here's the plan at the moment, and you're going to get nothing but transparency from me. So here's the current strategy. That is, we are about to turn on a second language in the U.S., Spanish. So the current system ties to the U.S. catalog. Okay. So if you were to make recommendations through PowerMe, the options you see is the US catalog, okay? So if you're in Canada, or if you're in Mexico, if you're in these other countries, they will not see their own catalog yet. Assessments will still work. You can turn off those automatic recommendations, and then you can use your global link gen if you want, right? I mean, so you can leverage assessments, and then you can send product recommendations and such the standard way you do right now. So first of all, so it is usable, which is a good sign. The concern, every market, as you know, if you're from Canada and other countries, has their own set of detailed regulations, right? So we're working through regulatory issues, Canada, Brazil, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, just to make sure that we maintain, obviously, the legal pieces for your country and integrate the appropriate product catalogs as part of the system. When will that happen? We're trying to get executives to define what the order of international rollouts are. So if you have, if you have a feeling towards that, that's currently where we're at. We're working with our executive team to know what order of international rollout we should do next. Okay.
We had a great question about what does it take for a customer or prospect to create an account on PowerMe? And so just wanted to clarify that at the end of an assessment, to save that, they need to create an account, and it will ask for their name and email if they're a guest, or if they're already a doTERRA member, they'll just enter in their doTERRA login credentials.
Exactly right. It's exactly right. So it's very easy. They've got 2 or 3 pieces of information to save their data into PowerMe so they can come back and look at it, right? If they don't have a doTERRA, if they haven't enrolled in doTERRA yet, then to save their data on PowerMe so they can look at it again, they put their name and their email basically, okay? However, if they click, if you send them products in PowerMe and they click checkout, it already routes them straight to enrollment, which is the normal part of the doTERRA enrollment. So it is exactly what happens in the doTERRA system. It drops them on the second page because they're a referral. They don't have to choose a kit, remember? So it drops them on the second tab of enrollment and they enroll like normal. Great questions, everybody. Anything else? I would be interested, you guys, if, I don't know, let's see how many. Oh, we still have people in the waiting room. Okay, so we still have over 100 people on here. Great. I would love to know the frequency you'd want these kinds of meetings. Like, how often do you want them? At the moment, we did one in December. We're doing one now, obviously. But we want you to be in the loop. Not only do we want you to be in the loop, we want you to have influence in the usability and success of this element. Okay. Feel free to either chat in, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever you think is valuable. But we want you to feel a part of the journey that we're doing here, the journey to help you succeed in your business. And that's the journey we're interested in. Looks like I have a hand raised even.
Yeah. Do you want to see? So Rich, I would also add that I'm going to put in the chat here our email address, just usability@doterra.com. And we're happy to answer questions about PowerMe. If you think of some questions after you get off the call here. And yeah. Yeah, or if you're having any problems with PowerMe, we can help troubleshoot those. We can usually get those resolved very, very quickly. So.
Yep, absolutely. We are creating enhancements for you almost every single week. So I think one of the goals that I have as a product owner is to build the trust between you and this technology. I want you to know that if you see something that you need changed, it can be changed. If you see something that can make your business better, we can add it. Now, of course, we have to use logic, right? If it will only help one wellness advocate out of 5.5 million, that might be a harder ask. But most of the time, what you're asking for is phenomenal. Thank you for your feedback. Okay. Anything else? Keeping it shorter for people.
Hi, Rich. I just wanted to say that as long as you're doing changes on a regular basis, I mean, bi-monthly would be good, but then if it started to slow down, then maybe move it to monthly and quarterly. But because I know there are a lot of changes right now, I think a lot of these would be good.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that.
And hey, Rich, I just wanted to compliment on that too. Like those of us who started from the very beginning have a good working knowledge of it. So we would like to deep dive into the new things, but those who haven't even started are going to need that time to go over and really review the things correctly. So Possibly if you're new to PowerMe, you're going to need to spend more time with them, and that could be a separate thing. And for those of us who've been using it for a while, that could be a separate meeting too.
Perfect.
And another question, do you know when the texting availability will be available to us?
Okay, so I love this question. If I were to leak something, there possibly could be a native app coming here really soon. Texting tends to come with native apps, right? So this is, by the way, you guys, 80% of wellness advocates are using this on their phone, by the way. Okay. So this is mobile responsive, they call it, right? So when you log into, PowerMe on your phone, it works perfectly well. Okay. But that does not make it an app you'd find in the Apple Store, right? Or in the Google Play Store. So that might be coming, and with it comes texting and such. So that's a teaser for you, Jen.
All right, great, thanks.
Yeah. Yep. So I do want to emphasize one other thing, Jennifer, based on what you just said, and that is, remember on the PowerMe site, on your dashboard, there are how-to videos. We just re-recorded them with all the new designs, and they're only 1.5 minutes long. So intentionally not really long. You can look at an overview. You can look at how to send an assessment, how to send recommendations. And those videos show up for wellness advocates, but if you're a customer, only the customer-based videos show up. So even the videos are personalized based on your role. Okay. Jeremy or Mary, anything else? Otherwise, we can wrap up.
There's a good question about the group links. Can we access them after we create them?
Ooh, okay. All right. Group links. Can you access the link to that group after you create them? Love it. Let me share my screen really fast then. Okay. That's a great question. And that is foundational to understanding what you're doing here. So I'm really glad whoever asked that you did. Okay, so if I'm going to send an assessment, you guys, and let's assume I'm going to send a sleep assessment, and I'm going to share it with a group, right here, you already have the ability to choose prior links. These are all links tied to that group and sleep, okay, or that group and another assessment. So when I hit sleep group, or I create a new one, or I create, this one that we created today, and I hit send assessment, I get the link again. So yes, you have full access to all prior links as well as creation of new links if you create a new group. Good question. Showing people really thinking. I love it.
And Rich, there's another question that's come up that so when someone takes an assessment, but they either forget or they don't mark that they give permission to share their results, will wellness advocates still see those customers in their dashboard? I know there's some work being done on that.
Cool. Okay, let me rephrase the question because it's a little bit more complicated than what I just heard. So if the person does not share their results, okay, maybe it's hard to do this without showing people. Let me take an individual assessment. Okay, I'm gonna quickly. Can you still see my incognito screen, Jerem? No? Okay, let me unshare and then reshare really fast. Okay, because I know that, okay, here we go. All right, so if I'm gonna take the sleep assessment, okay, first of all, I'm doing this for sleep because I want you to recognize that the wellness assessment, which is the wellness pyramid, the sleep assessment has its own categories. And the move assessment has its own categories, right? It targets the topic that you're focusing on. Okay, so if I'm going to take the sleep assessment and I answer a couple questions, okay, and this is about, what happens during sleep. Okay, and it then asks me, this is also very similar, you guys, to the wellness assessment. At the end, it says, how satisfied am I as a customer, as a person? How satisfied am I with my current sleep status? And what categories do I want to improve? Well, when I wake up, I really want to improve my after sleep. When I wake up, I feel groggy most of the time. Okay, this moment right here, you guys, is really, we're going to simplify this in the next week or two, actually. If I don't share this with Nymphadora, it does not show up for Nymphadora yet. In the future, there will be two buttons. It'll be save it for myself and share it with Nymphadora. That way, I'll save and it will tell Nymphadora I finished, but it will not share my results. So that is being improved based on feedback. And I see that my battery is almost dying. That's going to be exciting. If I drop off, we love you all. You're amazing.
But just to clarify, currently, if they don't click that button to share the results, it won't allow them to save their assessment
Correct.
results either, and they won't be able to
Right.
see their results.
Right. If I don't
So,
click that and I hit this, it says consent is required. If I hit this, it says consent is required. You have to check this button. And that is a blocker for some people we've found. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a save my results to my own dashboard button. That will be mandatory. The other one, share with the person who sent it to me, will be optional, but the person who sent it will know that they finished. That will be, I think that's a huge improvement for people.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Amy, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, please, Amy.
Yes. Can you make it so that that box is automatically clicked so that they have to unclick it if they don't want to? Because if they're going to get an assessment and then they'll work with us, what's the point? And I would imagine that more people are quickly just scooting through, and if they really care, they would look and unclick it. So can you make it automatically clicked and unclickable?
You know what, Amy? In the past, I think the answer to that was we couldn't legally, and now I think we can, because that first box will simply be saved to my own dashboard. So I think yes is the answer to that.
Great.
And the fact that the next box we couldn't auto check, it'll still tell you though that they completed, which is a good kind of happy medium between what legal wants and what the field wants.
So are you saying that legal would say that the first box could be auto checked, but the second one they'd have to check? You can't make
Yes.
them both auto checked and then they can uncheck what they don't want?
Yeah, for example, yes, that is correct. The first box, which auto saves when they click the button to their account, can be auto checked. The forcing them to this is, I'm going to use legal's words, sorry. You will share with this person, they're requiring that the person actually check it. I'll keep pushing that envelope though, Amy, and seeing if we can get them both pre-checked, and hopefully they could be.
Yeah, well, I would imagine it'd be more of an issue if you don't have a personal relationship already with the person, like
Right.
sharing it on social and that sort of thing.
Right,
Where if
at
you're
a
talking to
booth.
somebody directly, you can say, hey, and it's going to ask you, please make sure you check that box so that I can provide the best service possible. But if we can make them both clickable and optionally unclickable, that would probably be the best, because I feel like most people don't read stuff.
I know. I think myself included. So I agree with you. We'll bring it up, and this is being recorded so we can also have Shane watch it as well. That would be great.
And Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you saying that we're working to get it where prospects who don't elect to share, but they still save their results, that'll still, their name at least will still show up
Yeah.
on the dashboard.
That is a good point, Jerem. Amy, what we're trying desperately to do is, even though, sorry, before my computer completely dies on you, I did find a power cord. Before, sorry. There we go. When they click save and if they do not share with you or choose not to share with you, what I hope the solution is that on your dashboard, you will still see their name and email, and then it will say their results have not been shared. Okay. That will at least give you the empowerment to know who and how to connect with them.
That's great.
That's
I
the
have
hope.
another quick question. When you said that this is going to link to our back office eventually, is that going to allow us to see the people we enrolled or everyone in our downline?
I guess I'm not clear on the delineation.
Well,
It's
is it going
everyone
to
in your
propagate everybody that we are the enroller of, or is it going to propagate in everyone in our downline, whether we're the enroller or not?
Got it. Yes, that makes sense to me. It's interesting. The solution that currently exists in your business tools, it's called that contact downloader. Already allows you to personally delineate how to pull that data in.
Okay.
So I would envision, Amy, because this is not, it's still in design and about to be, created. I would hope that you would be able to also determine, right?
Okay.
Because I think different opinions, different strokes for different folks, I think people will want to see it differently.
Right.
Okay,
I
I
wanted
see
to
another.
say maybe the workaround of that check mark might be that they actually have to pick yes or no to even move on. Because a lot of times, like we say, people are just going through it really fast and they probably want to share it because they want the information. But if they have to push yes or no before they can even move on, maybe we'll have a better chance of getting more.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. That is kind of how it works right now. Like, if you don't check it, you can't move on and you don't get your results. Like
Okay.
when we first started this, those who remember the early days, we wanted to be nice. And so we just gave people their results before we knew who they were. Well, that proved fatal because people saw the results and then just closed the browser. And so we never knew who they were, and it wouldn't link them to you. So now we don't show their results until they at least save their data and decide, like you said, kind of yes or no to share or not.
Awesome. Yeah.
Perfect. Love it.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us on the call today. This has been so fun for us. These calls are so fun for us to get to meet all of you and talk to you and answer your questions. And we're excited to do it again soon. We'll make sure that you get the recording to the call today, and feel free to share with anyone that you like. We'll also make sure that you get invited to the next one and make sure you hear about the updates. If you could do something for us, if you have a PowerMe success story like Dr. Laura shared today, we would love to hear it. You can send those to usability@doterra.com. I put that email address in the chat there. We may ask you to be part of the call and share how you're using PowerMe, because that's some of the feedback that we've been receiving is, I'm not quite, seems like a really great tool, but I'm just not quite sure how to use it. And so we're trying to, let people share how they're using PowerMe so that it gives everyone ideas, and we all just get better, and our businesses improve, right? So this has been wonderful. Yeah, and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.